Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. You know, folks, I've been doing quite a bit of reading and research about the food that we eat and the impacts that our diets have on disease and on our health and wellness. And I'm talking more than just obesity and childhood obesity. I'm talking about other diseases such as cancer and hypertension and diabetes and irritable bowel syndrome and fibromyalgia and liver disease and rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis, and the list just goes on and on about the impacts that foods have on disease and how a lot of the foods that are consumed in this country actually promote disease. And the biggest one that keeps coming up over and over and over is high fructose corn syrup. And you know, last week I just did a blog post about if you want to be fat, then consume high fructose corn syrup. And in doing more research on the corn syrup, I came across a report that was actually from March 23rd of 2010. I just came across it. It's from Science Daily. And it says that high fructose corn syrup, which some studies have linked to obesity, may also be harmful to the liver, according to Duke University Medical Center research. We found that increased consumption of high fructose corn syrup was associated with scarring of the liver or fibrosis among patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is present in 30% of adults in the United States. Unfortunately, there is no therapy for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Our findings suggest that we may need to go back to healthier diets that are more holistic. High fructose corn syrup, which is predominantly in soft drinks and processed foods, may not be as benign as we previously thought. You know, I'm one of those who years ago used to, consider Diet Coke a pretty good breakfast. That was either before or after the first cup of coffee. And I, used to consume several Diet Cokes a day and lived heavily on packaged foods and used to weigh 110 pounds more than I do now. And I had a lot of the diseases of obesity coming on as a result of that. My blood pressure was borderline. The doctors were concerned about that. I was showing a number of other physical symptoms towards diseases that left unchecked wouldn't have been, who knows where I'd be today. But fortunately, about 15 years ago, using hypnosis and changing the way I eat and incorporating exercise, I was able to take off over 110 pounds, and I've kept it off ever since. And I'm very passionate about changing what it is that we feed people in this nation, what we're consuming in our own homes, what we're consuming in our school systems. And I actually had a conversation with somebody this morning about the food that's being served in care centers. One of my weight loss clients had been to visit an aunt in a care center and went to lunch with her there in the care center, and the food was pretty much all packaged processed foods. And he said it was pretty scary, the amount of fat and just the looks of the food and the fact that there was no real food, there was no real fresh food that was being served. Everything came out of a package. And to me, that's just a crying shame. And what I would encourage you to do is get back to eating real food. And you've heard me say it before, real food is food that looks like you dug it out of the earth, picked it off a plant or a bush or out of a tree. And the closer it's grown to your own home, the better it is. And yeah, I understand that in northern climates like here where I live, you get fresh fruit and vegetables at certain times of the year. But then buy the flash frozen vegetables that are frozen within a few hours of being picked out in the fields, and they contain actually often more of the nutrients than even some of the fresh vegetables contain and fruits contain that have been picked weeks in advance and put in a barge and shipped up here. If they're frozen in the field, they have those nutrients. But stay away from the boxed foods, the packaged foods. If man has taken it, sliced it, diced it, altered it, added words to you can't pronounce, and put it in a package with a label, those are the ones that you really want to stay away from. And my book, Becoming Slender for Life, and its accompanying CD set can really support you in your journey of making that transition from eating high-fat and high-fructose corn syrup foods to eating real food. And real food should be tasty. It should taste very good. It should have a great look, and it should have a great texture, and it should smell wonderful, and it should taste sensuously, and it should be wonderful food. And you know what? Real food can actually be prepared quickly, simply, easily, and actually quite inexpensively. So it's not unheard of that you can prepare real food cheaper than what you can actually buy the packaged foods even in the big box stores. So let go of that myth that you can't afford to eat healthy. Let's reconsider that one. And one of the things that I've noticed, I happened to stop in one of the big box stores the other day and was pleasantly surprised. I don't go there very often, but was pretty surprised and excited to see that the produce, the vegetables, were right there when you walked in the door. There was fruit and vegetables as soon as you walked in the door, and that to me was exciting. It wasn't Snickers bars, it wasn't Twinkies, it wasn't Coke, but it was fresh fruits and vegetables that were being served. So create a new relationship with yourself. Create a new relationship with food, and you can do that using my book and by learning self-hypnosis and how to take control over what you're eating, how much you're eating, and ultimately your weight. Stop eating the fast foods, the processed foods, the junk foods, and create a healthy desire for the vegetables, for the whole grains, the beans, the legumes, for fruit. Eat slowly, eat consciously. Remember, hunger is a good thing. It means it's time to eat. But stop eating when your body says enough, no more. Enjoy the real food. Take control of your health. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.